Let's just talk about what's been happening in the global markets overnight and just look at the kind of fall that you've seen in the entire IT services ADR pack. Infi ADR down 6%, Wipro ADR down 6%, and it doesn't just restrict itself to Infi as well as Wipro. Look at what happened with Cognizant. That was slashed about almost 10%. There was a Globant which was down about 10%, Accenture which fell about 10%. And all of this because there is this new threat in the market that Anthropic's new AI automation tool could perhaps eat into core businesses of data and info services firms. Let's talk a little bit about that as to what could be the complications for IT services players across the globe and, of course, India in particular. We've got Trip Chowdhry joining in on the show right now. Trip, hi, great to have you on ET now once again. Trip, you think this new automation tool by Anthropic is going to be that DeepSeek 2.0 kind of moment?
I will beg to differ with your setup because that's a very cursory look at the things that are rattling the global markets. And I will present two key events that have happened, and you haven't seen anything yet. Because what is happening is speculation from the market is getting evaporated. And let me explain you two things that have happened, and we have just seen the AI bubble bursting. First, President Trump appointed a new Fed governor, Kevin Walsh, who will replace the current federal governor, who is Powell. Just before the announcement, Powell said that I will be printing around $50 billion every month. That is, he's going to increase the liquidity, and he's not going to increase the interest rates. So he's not going to decrease the interest rates. That was his foolish idea of controlling the inflation. Kevin Walsh, the new incoming Fed, has already told that I will reduce the interest rate. What these two events clearly say is the speculation from the markets will go away, which is healthy. And you have seen gold, platinum, all the precious metals, including Bitcoin, plummeting. That's the underlying trend. That is, with the change of the federal governors, the approach of increasing liquidity versus reducing the interest rate is a play that you are seeing. That's the underlying theme. Second, if you think about why, it's not only the IT services which are getting hammered, because I think that's the focus of your conversation. It is whole tech which has evaporated. Microsoft, to name just one. Adobe. There are so many which have just plummeted. The reason for that is, if you think what is happening in the AI space, person just sneezes and they get a valuation of $100 billion. Then there's another idiot who says, I'm going to create data centers in the space. Now, even a shoe shiner knows it is all hot air. People can't go and live in the space. They are going to create a data center in the space. This is all the bubble talk. And the problem that has happened is the circular deals. The bubble mates are OpenAI and NVIDIA. They are going into circular deals one after the other. And now, at least the investors, in the backdrop I talked about the change in federal governors, now people are saying, this party can't continue. You feed my left hand feeds your right hand behind your back, and everybody makes money, though that gimmicks are over. So what is happening here is the bubble mates have destroyed the AI industry by creating a narrative of AI factories and talking about these tokens, while the end customer is not seeing any value. The question to ask is customer asking for AI factories? No. Is customer asking for tokens? Answer is no. It is a vendor-driven push, no end customer pull, and that is unraveling. That's the reason the whole It's not specific to IT services. The whole tech area who are playing in the shadow of OpenAI and NVIDIA, they have been clobbered. Think about today. AMD announced the results, raised the guidance. Stock is plummeting. Why? People don't believe in the guidance. Why? They have signed a circular deal with
Right.
OpenAI of $90 billion. OpenAI doesn't have money to pay for it. So what are those guidance valuable at all if the OpenAI and NVIDIA are just going to this, circular deals? It's not. So it's all unraveling, and that's the reason the whole global markets are selling off. The trigger is the change of the federal governors. I think the new Kevin. Just go ahead.
Trip, I take your point. Trip, I take your point. Sorry for interjecting. Give us, therefore, a sense of what this means from an Indian IT standpoint, because what you seem to be suggesting is this is adverse for AI. Everything that's playing out with regard to how the Federal Reserve approaches policy is negative with regard to AI stocks. That should, in fact, benefit the IT companies. Why are the IT companies falling? Give us the rationale for that.
I would say the right way to think is not the new Fed is bad for AI. It is bad for speculation. So wherever you see speculation, those all stocks will come down. Like, for example, if you look at the earnings call from Infosys, TCS, and everything, don't you think they were creating hot air about AI? I have this much AI, I have that much AI. They are getting clobbered because the customer has become smart. What customer is saying, see, this is the big dichotomy. Companies like Indian IT services companies, they say, hey, customer, I'm going to give you, create an IT deployment and implementation. You were paying me $100, now pay me $150 because I have AI. Customer says, get out of my office. Why? If you're using AI, I expect, like if you're charging me $100 before, now you're going to charge me $75 because you as a vendor, you as a services company have to first show me that you are AI efficient. If you can't show me you are AI efficient, don't come and bother me. That's the sense of realization and change of narrative that has happened in the customer. You can't have a vendor push and fool the customer anymore in this environment, and the markets are reflecting that across the whole world. The speculation is coming to the end, and that is healthy.
Sure. So you're saying, Trip, that this is going to be a much deeper fall and will not resist itself to what we saw overnight.
Exactly.
Okay. Great getting your insight. Thanks as always for your time, Trip. Let's take a very quick